Hey folks, it's Michael Johnson with the Energy Sketch. Welcome to this week's sketch for the 24th of July, 2023. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about this idea that ideas are like feathers. And here on the left, I'm showing young Joseph in this room full of wonderful, magical, feathery ideas. And I expressed the importance of choosing one, bringing it down, working on it, and then sending it back out and expressing it back out into the world where it can be picked up by others, can grow, and can make a difference out in the world. And I'd like to come back on that point because there's a few nuances there that I find personally quite difficult and challenging sometimes. So I was sharing in the video 2 weeks ago how often I will get overwhelmed by the sort of abundance of ideas and have this desire to touch all of them and do all of them. Whereas what's really important is to sort of actively choose one, bring it down, work on it, put it out again, and then it can be built upon. The problem is that, let's say, for example, I've gone and I've chosen a little feather here, an idea feather, I've brought it down, I've worked on it, and I've sent it out into the world, or I'm ready to send it out in the world, but it looks like this. It's ugly. It sucks. I don't like it. I'm scared to put it out there. And often this leads me personally into what I might call this sort of spiral of judgment. Self-reinforcing kind of negative spiral, like, oh my God, this feather, it's so ugly, I can't put it out there. Oh, this video, it's so bad, I can't put it out there. Everyone's going to judge me, it's awful. Oh, you just want to run away, hide, stop working on it, right? This is the kind of spiral of judgment that often, as creators, as perfectionists, to whatever degree that you are a perfectionist, maybe you see yourself in this dynamic here. So I want to offer you and myself really a couple of strategies here. And I want to recognize Oliver Burkeman also for some of these strategies that I learned in one of his short courses. References is in the description. And his book is great, 4,000 Weeks. Really enjoyed it. Very zen here. And a lot of those spirit comes in these strategies. So the first one is really to make it a daily-ish habit of picking a feather, working it a bit, sending it back out. The more that you can make that a regular habit of taking small steps and having a real commitment to deliver something, even a tiny, tiny little thing on a daily-ish habit, not beating yourself up for missing one day and then leading into a spiral of, oh, well, screw it, I missed one day, I might as well just give up. Cut yourself some slack, but have a commitment, have a plan, a backed up plan to deliver something on a daily-ish cadence and deliver on a regular momentum and cadence, small little chunks. And that practice, that daily practice of sending things out there will sort of tame that spiral of judgment over time. The next idea is, just accept it. At some point, you got to accept that feather, that thing that you're going to work on, is going to be ugly at the beginning. There's always this pain. It's painful turning these ideas into reality. You look out there at these magical feathers. In your mind, they could be so lovely, so beautiful, so wonderful, so life-changing, so wonderful, world-changing, game-changing. That's just in your imagination. So you got to accept that when you start to take those things down into the real world, work on them and send them out, they are not going to be anywhere close to what you had imagined that they might be, at least not at the beginning. And this is part of the daily habit of crafting, of picking away the bad parts, editing it, refining it as you go and developing that habit. And the next strategy is really breaking it into small units. So, of course, I'm never going to draw a beautiful, sketch of a feather the first time. So, pick a part of it, work on a particular skill, work on a particular section, a particular paragraph, whatever it is that you're working on, break it down into the smallest unit and then work on that unit and maybe just issue that unit out for feedback from others or for feedback from your future self the next day, right? It's not helpful to try to do the whole thing all at once. breaking it into small units is a really good strategy there. And the last one is take pleasure. Take pleasure in the process. So there's two things there, the pleasure and the process. And have a process which is related to that daily-ish habit. So you don't have to ask yourself questions about what am I going to do today? How much am I going to do? Have a process, a habit that every day I sit down and I work on this little chunk and I send it out. And I commit to enjoying the process, whatever the outcome is, whatever the result is. Have a commitment to yourself to enjoy that process and maybe surprise yourself enjoying the process. Okay, folks, that's it for this week. Hope that was helpful thinking about the pain of turning those imagination ideas that you have in your mind's eye, in your imagination, the pain of turning them into reality. It's a thing. We can never get away from it. So we accept it, we break it into small units, we have pleasure in the process of daily-ish delivery and building things up in a cadence, in a momentum. And then we can do great things. We can make beautiful things through these strategies. Hope that was helpful, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, Monday, 12 p.m., youtube.com/@EnergySketch. Toodaloo!